Hi guys, Squirrel here. Welcome to another episode of my realistic playthrough on Derail Valley. We're up at the machine factory and I'm just bringing all the locos over here for a quick service so that we make sure they're all fueled up. I don't think there's any repairs to do. It'll just be like the usual stuff. Oh, slow down, slow down. Oil, diesel, bit of sand maybe. Is that good enough? Yeah, it's good enough. Right. Yeah, just going to get them all serviced up so that we can plan our return leg. It is still raining, unfortunately. I don't know where we're going to go yet, but we do have a steam locomotive to get back to the museum. I don't think there's anything else lying around. You never usually get more than one spawn. So I'm going to get these serviced up, and then we'll start looking at the jobs and make a plan. Right, well, this rain is not only getting worse, but it's the lightning's appeared as well. So it's great weather right now. Fantastic. What I've done is I've basically got everything serviced, and I've gone and collected our S282, and basically I'm going to leave it there while we pop over and have a look in the station to see if there's any jobs here that are worth taking. We've got to decide where we're going, but it kind of starts and ends with seeing what's available. So I'm going to quickly jump into here and see what we've got. I have a plan, because we do obviously need to get this thing back down to City South. The harbour is an obvious target. Maybe there's something from here, maybe from the Orwell North, maybe from Goods Factory. You know, we have options, but let's have a look in here first. Right, well that's quite a nice job there. 69k back down to harbour. There's a 17k job there. That's quite a lot for only 17k. That's because this is Hazmat 2 Long 2. It all comes down to the categories. Like each category gives you a multiplier, effectively. You see, that's got no categories on it, so I'm not even going to bother with that. That one would generate a job to Harbour and Town, but it's only a long one, so there's nothing spectacular about it. That's a decent job, but it's to the sawmill, and we're not going to the sawmill. The Goods Factory... We could take that. The difficulty with taking that one is that if we go out of Food Factory this way and go into Orwell North, if we find something here that we want to take to the harbour and then we go to Goods Factory, then the job here is now in the wrong place. So given that, I will say no to it. It's a decent paying job for what it is, but I think it might create problems if we go to the Goods Factory. So I think the two that are quite fancy are these two. Not bothered about getting the bonus on that. Would kind of like to get the bonus on that. But frankly, if we're going to spend our time going to Orwell North and the Goods Factory and then down to Harbour, it's not super likely that we'll get the bonus on both of them. But hopefully we can get some better paying stuff later on. So what we'll do is we'll take that one first. That's in C30, and then we'll grab C20. Get it all connected, hand them in, and then we're going to make our way over to Orwell North and see if we can get another job. Right, so I've lined everything up. Both jobs are now connected. I've not handed them in. What I want to do now is just quickly set our course out of the Food Factory. So coming out of the Food Factory, last time we went up the military loop, this time we're going to hang a right at that triangle. And we're going to come out this way, and we're going to take a left into Orwell North. Orwell North has got a loop which we'll need to set, and then we'll come back out of the Orwell North. We'll need to set that on the way out, and we'll come back out this way and we'll take a left into the Goods Factory. Now with the Goods Factory, we're not going to loop around it. What we're going to do is go all the way through it, because we're then going to come this way and head on down to the harbour. Now you can see you've actually got a choice here about going that way or that way, and it doesn't look much on the map. On that diagram, but on the map what it is this junction here. So you can either take the right turn and go straight down this way and come in the way that you're used to, or we're used to because we've done this quite frequently, or you can head that way and take that passageway down the east side. It's a little bit either or. It doesn't particularly make a difference. I don't think we've been down this road track at all. So I'm proposing to turn right, and then we'll take a left and come down on our usual tunnel rather than go this way. This way is definitely hillier, but I'd rather leave that for when we go up to the coal mine east at some point. Maybe we'll head up that way. So we'll take a right there. So if we go back to this diagram here, we'll take a right and then we'll come down and hang a left this way towards the harbour, then a left into the harbour. Now, in terms of the Orwell North, let's have a look at the Orwell North. With the Orwell North, we want to loop around and come back out again. And the best way of doing that is to basically go through the sea yard. You can either hang right and come around that way, or you can go around that way. It doesn't really make any difference. Let's say we're going to do the anti-clockwise loop. We're looking to go through 3i, which is an input line. We'll be coming in from the south, and we want to take right into the input line. There may be something on this track. So I'm just going to set both of them to go into 3i. It is correct the way I've got it, but just in case. 3i is the loop. And what we'll do is we'll take a right turn through C, and then we'll come back around that loop, come forward to about here, jump out, see what jobs there are, and there may be stuff to pick up from B and or C. We'll have to see what happens. Then we'll have to pull forward, reverse, grab it, and go. When it comes to the goods factory, it's a little bit different because we're looking to go straight through B and exit D. That's the way we're going to be rolling. So what we need to do is make sure that we keep left here and go through C. Then we're going to loop through here, keep left again, and go into D. So we've got to make sure that B, C, and D is set up for a straight run. So with B, it's quite straightforward. You can just keep right and go through the loading line, which will be empty. C is a passenger platform, so it's not used at all, so you just keep left straight through that. And then D, coming from this side, is going to be a right and then a left, right, left, there you go. Straight through, pull up, go over to the station, see what jobs there are from here, and then grab whatever we take our fancy and then off. Time is of the essence on this one, because once we start this clock running on these two jobs here, 82 minutes is our limit. Now what we can do, we can basically take this with us, and it's not this. It's not hugely useful. Oh, I haven't got the stopwatch. I haven't bought the stopwatch. I can't believe that. Right, guys, we need to buy a stopwatch. It's not massively useful, the stopwatch. I wish it was a bit better than it really is, but it's the only option you've got if you want to keep track of time, or look at your clock, or start a stopwatch on your phone. That's the way to do it. Right, let's jump down here. We've got a DH4 running, and we've got a D6 running. The rear two are running at the moment. Actually, what I want to do is quickly I'm going to brake cut that out, and we'll have this D6 brake cut in, and then I'm going to jump into the front. I haven't started this one yet. We'll get the lights on, get the wipers going, get the power going, and get moving. Now it is a hill start in wet track, but hopefully I think we've got enough power. So these jobs here are 200 tons and 500 tons, let's say 700 tons-ish. And then our combined weight is 450 plus the steam loco, so it should be within the capabilities of D6 and DH4. But it is wet track and it can be a bit slippy, so we shall see. At some point we may have to turn off the DH4 and just turn on this D6 and just run two D6s. But at the moment I'm hopeful that we can get away with one. Repair costs, by the way, were $34,000. So that was the end of the last job in the previous episode. I got it serviced here. $34,000 was the total cost, which means we still have $1.1 million, which is pretty good. Now, going out the food factory is that climbing turn and then a twisty road. We've done this one before in a previous episode, and then we hang a right up here, left into Orwell North. We're just coming up to our first junction, taking a right. There's quite a few 30 limits on that climb. I did try to put a bit more power in, the sand kicked in, so in terms of traction, the slug is really helping in this weather, but even it has limits. If I tried to put more power in up that slope, it wasn't having it. I need to keep the speed under, or down near 30. Right, we're going down slope now, so we're basically here, making that turn. We'll go down, then we'll go back up to Orwell North and cross that loop at Orwell North. If I remember Orwell North loop is 20 or at best, well, at best a 30 limit, probably a 20 limit. I'm going to plan for a 20 around that loop, I think. Okay, second junction. This is the Orwell North junction. We're expecting a left turn here on the switch. It says 60 limit. I'm not sure I trust it. I've been using the dynamic brake. It's been downhill on this section here. But the problem is it's so misty that I can't see the speed board signs until it's too late. Okay, 60 left, that's fine. Now it's 60 on a flat, and Orwell North. This is what we're expecting. We're expecting a right turn at this junction here. Which is hard to see. I don't want to be going too quick through this junction though. I'm going to shave some speed off, I think. I can't remember how far it is from there it is. There you go. If I'd have come round here at 60, that would have been an absolute mess. 30 limit right turn. Visibility is absolutely horrendous. Now, we better hope that we've got these switches set correctly. Fortunately, this side doesn't have a wiper. Okay, it reckons 50 through here. That's... no. Don't go 50 through here. Okay, storage line's got stuff in it. The input line has... stuff in it? Why has the input line got stuff in it? What the heck? Okay. I have never seen that before. I guess stuff just got dropped off then. Wow. Okay, let me just get out of... back up here. That is the first time I've ever seen the game put stuff on the input line like that. I guess it's possible if something's just been dropped off, but normally input lines are usually clear. But, you know, that line's not marked as anything, so in theory I could have just used that in a safe manner. So I guess that's... you can put that one down to driver error. Thankfully we've not lost a huge amount of time, but... put the brakes on. Just check I didn't actually... I may have flipped, because I was travelling backwards slightly then when I... okay, it's fine. I was travelling backwards slightly then when I put the reverser into forward. Luckily, I don't appear to have blown any traction motors fuses. Okay, right, that should be straight through, and then that should be all the way around, keeping right, and it should come out the other side. So, as long as that doesn't go too quickly, I should be able to pick it up in a second. I realise this is a little bit risky, but it's going to save us time if we can inspect the jobs. Let's see, harbour, 33k. It's not amazing, is it? Oil refinery, steel mill. So there is this one. We may as well take it. Methane. It's a hazmat too, so it pays 33k. Getting it from B40. Now B is this yard here, and 40 is a straight in by the look of it, so it'll be a right then left, right, left. Straight into 40, connect, hand in, go. Speed are we doing that? So it's going to be this lot here, I think. Is this 4L? 5L. Must be this one. bottom there. It is ridiculously misty, but I think the rain's lighting up. Certainly the lightning stopped. Okay, once this comes back around, we'll hook up, hand in, and get out of here. Well, I'm happy to say the rain has stopped. The mist is rapidly clearing up, and you can actually see what Orwell North looks like. Not surprisingly, it's an oil field with pump jacks and storage. That's basically it, but when we got here, you couldn't see anything. Right, 4.0 is what we're going for. Track will still be wet, of course. How heavy is this thing? It's about 378 tons, okay. I think I'll turn off the DH4 and we'll just run the two D6s now, because we're starting to pick up quite a bit of weight. Right, are you going to be nice? Yeah. Handbrake's in the right place, love it. I won't set that rolling because I've got to run back to the front of it in a second and start some engines. And what I will do is hand in the methane job. We'll take that, thank you very much. So that one, where's that one even going? C2I at the harbour. Okay, we're going to have to figure out our drop-off sequence in a minute. Let's start the engines up and get going. We're just climbing up towards the goods factory, and I was just having a look at the jobs here to see where they drop off. Annoyingly, our first job that we picked up drops off at C2I, then D4I, and then C2Is, which is a bit... well, there's not a lot we can do about that. We're going to have to go from C to D back to C again. We don't know what we're going to get from the goods factory. I am going to nip into the shop, though, because there's some paint that we can get from the goods factory. Because obviously we've got a steam loco and we've got plenty of money, so I'm just going to buy a few tins of paint. And I can't remember if they sell a stopwatch here. If they do, I'll grab one. Now, what I intend to do is jump into the station, let the train run itself around the loop, and hope I've set everything correctly. We have set it to go straight the way through, and the station is here and the shop is just down here, so we should be able to have a look at this while the train is going back around that way. Because if we do take anything from D, we're going to have to wait for the back to clear this bit anyway, so we'll see how it goes. It's good for a 30 around that loop. The weather has massively cleared up. It's just gone from rain and lightning and no visibility at all to absolutely perfect. Quite happy about that. Anyway, goods factory is here. We're going to try and keep a steady 30, and then station and shop. See if our luck is with us. We've not got anything massively high paying here, but it's all good money. Not everything's going to be a massive high paying job. We're just trying to get back to the museum realistically. We've already made decent money as it is. There's the loading bay. That looks like it's been switched correctly. Just back off the power a bit now. Get ready to jump out. Those switches look correct. I'm just going to let it roll. 31. I'll do. Right, let's have a quick look at this. Harbour and Town is a 11 grand job. Absolute rubbish. Well, it looks like our luck is not great. Food Factory, City South. In fact, all of them are a bit meh, to be honest. Machine Factory in Town's completely the wrong way. Food Factory in Town's back where we came from. City South is nowhere... Actually, City South is where we're going. We could take that. It's coming out of D. We will take that. I'm actually going to hand it in before we even hook it up, I think. We're not going to get the bonus on it anyway because we're going to go to Harbour first, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, let's do that. Let's hand it in. We'll take it out of D70. I'm going to run down to the shop. Yeah, we're going City South anyway, so we might as well get some free money. It's a guaranteed, even without the bonus, guaranteed 70k, which will more than pay for the bills. I don't know where the front of the train is right now. I am hoping, I'm genuinely hoping I've set that correctly. 2, 3, 4 DVRTs. I don't know what we want to put inside the steam train itself. Probably a clinometer for both the locomos. They don't cost much anyway. Swivel light. We'll grab some of them. Analog control, I can't remember if you have any. 4 million rolls of solder. Don't need the A switch. A couple of them. Force sand. Where's the... Where do we get the other paint from? Lighter digital clock. Clocks are always useful. Digital speedos are always useful. What else do we want? Yeah, I don't see the stopwatch anywhere unless I'm blind, which is not unusual, but that'll do. 117 grams worth of stuff. Let's keep this moving. We're going to get this all the way back. There it is. We'll catch it up at D now. At least we can see if it's about to slam into something. That looks correct. 7-0 is the far outside lane here. The trouble is, the train is already too long for remote control to be used at the back. It is about just over 600 meters currently, and wireless starts to go iffy after 500 really. We're still limited to 30 as well because the back of the train's still coming through that loop. But, you know, I'm not too disappointed by that. Did I say 70k? 40k is what I meant. It's a 40k. We're not going to get the bonus. It doesn't matter. We'll have to disconnect that before we start dropping off this stuff. We'll disconnect it before the harbour. So our first drop is actually going to be into C at the harbour. It'll be into here. So we're going to come in from this way, be a left, 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 keep left, reverse into C. We need to set up E for a straight drive, which will be right then left. I'm going to jump out here. Not let that run away. It's a 30 limit up there, look. But it is an incline, so... we just need to watch this wireless signal. Oh yeah, I'm just trying to do some pre-planning here. We're going to then reverse back into C yard. And then we're going to go into right, left, C2I, isn't it? Then we'll have to go to D4I. D4I will be left and then right, left to 4I. Okay, they're all set up. Let's get the brakes off. Come on, let's keep her rolling. We're almost at the limit of the signal. There's the front there. It's quite a way, isn't it? You can see it's starting to slow down. Still got more left. This is why I have the DH4 though, because if you didn't bring the DH4 at this point, you'd have no remote control over those D6s, and it just gets horrible. Right, is that the back coming through? There we go. Right, let's get the brakes on that. Okay, so our signal is 2 bars, and you can see it going a bit dodgy. You've got to hold buttons down, and when the connection comes in, it sends it. It's really dodgy, but perfectly doable. Right, let's connect this up. Should hopefully do it. Lovely. Get that connected. Now we're going to be good. No, we're not going to be nice, are we? Run all the way to the back. Just to release that. And then I've got to run the whole length of this train. Bear in mind that's an extra 160 meters now we've just added onto this whole train. And get going. Right, brakes are releasing. Easy on the power. We've got a 1% gradient. So we're leaving the goods factory here. We've got this twisty bit. Then we merge into that switch there, and then we decide we're going to keep right down through here. Now, this particular job that we just picked up, this goes into City South at B1I. If we have a quick look at City South, we will be coming in from this direction here, so we'll be going right, left, into B, right, into B1I. We'll drop that off, hand it in, go forward with the... Actually, by then we'll probably be pushing them, because I'll tell you why. What I plan to do is when we come into harbour, I'm going to stop the back of that. I'm going to stop that job, that one, because that one's connected to the tankers, so it'll be easy to find that job. I'm going to disconnect it and put the brakes on, leave it here. We'll then carry on, hand C in. Handing D in is going to be a massive faff. So what I might do is... Oh, that is going to be a massive faff. We've got choices. So we drop the first job into C, and then we pull forward. We'll be too long through this junction. Ideally, you drop C and come back out that way, then reverse into D, but we don't really have that option. So what we might have to do is drop C, pull forward, and then disconnect the D drop and leave it here. Then reverse the second part back into C, and then get some other loco from the station here and push that into D, or get one of the shunters out or something, or just take one of the DH4 off the back and do it. The problem is there's not much room down at the end of the D siding, so if you basically pull something into it, you've got an issue. It's going to be a bit of a faff drop, but it is what it is. Anyway, we need to get some speed up here. We're against the clock. Now, I'm not sure if it's been this way before, but you may not have seen that. It's like a castle on the hill with a floating bush to the right. It's remarkable what they could do in medieval times. Right, we are coming up to this junction here, which has a tunnel before it. I've just got the dynamic brake on, just keeping it under control, because it's also a turning drop, basically. Okay, right switch is set, which is what we're expecting. I did turn on the DH4 as well, because the two DE6s, although powerful as they are, they were struggling a bit coming out of that goods factory. So I've turned on the DH4 and it's definitely helped. Yeah, this is like, still got a gradient all the way through this thing. There's an antenna up on the hill there. So that turn there, I've set the length at 800 meters. It's a little bit over what it actually is, but better to err on the side of caution. I couldn't be bothered to calculate it exactly. Just back off on the dynamic. And 90 limit, lovely. So this looks like a fairly straight piece of track through here. But when we get to this bit, there are some serious speed limits, so we do need to start braking at this part. Right, 120 limit, but it is decreasing. That's down to a 90, and it's decreasing, so yeah, we're going to start getting the brakes on here. Down to a 60. We've got a lot of weight. And we're approaching the junction. And I don't know what the speed limit is coming from this direction, but I suspect it won't be very much. If it's really misty, we'd have absolutely no chance of seeing this limit. I can see a 4 sign. Yeah, looks like 40 is the limit. Okay, that's okay. Normally we're going that way. We come in and out the harbour from that direction. We never done it from this direction before. You can see how it splits. Oh, I thought I'd messed up then. I thought we were about to go right. Whew. For some reason, it looked like the train was about to go right. Flipping heck, that was slightly worrying. That'd have been a stop and reverse special, that would. Okay, so we've got a 40 limit round here. We are picking up speed because we're about to go down a hill, so I'm just going to keep that limit under control. It then comes into this bit, which is also a 40 limit, so there's quite a long stretch of 40 through here. Yeah, that's normally the way we go. So 40 and an increase in limits. So basically we've got to get around this bend. And then we'll start the distance tracker. And that'll tell us when we can start picking up speed again. Dynamic brake is so good. So good on the DE6 with its slug. Really good. Okay, that'll do. So we'll just start that. And then we're up to a 70 limit. And then we've got that last twist down the bottom. And we're almost ready to do the harbour approach and drop. This is going to be interesting. I don't think we're going to get the bonuses. I really don't. But we'll see. I think it'd be very close. Maybe for the first one at sea we might get, but after that, no. $800 meters. Look at that. It's not even got round there yet. Finally. So we're no longer under the 40 limit for now. But we're going to be under a 40 limit around that final bend. Not this one, the one after. It hardly seems worth changing the dynamic brake setting. Might as well just leave it and run at 40. Right, well, I've got a second. So we're going to basically disconnect this before we get in. Then we're going to drop this at C2I. Then we're going to leave this. And then we're going to drop this at C2I. And then work out how the heck we're going to drop that one. Annoyingly, I think that's the high-paying one. Yeah, it is. And that's the one you'd really want the bonus on. But, yeah, no. The other jobs added up will be more than the bonus on that one, so it's fine. When you've got $1 million, you can start having fun and not worrying about the bonus so much. You tend to get into the realms of what fun and interesting challenges can I do? And that's more or less where we're at the moment, whilst also collecting our museum locomotives. We've still got 2 to do up, so we've got the Steam 282 behind us, and I think we've got the DM3 we didn't actually finish doing up, if I remember. Did we get them? Did we get the parts for them? I can't remember. I need to see. We'll have to do a parts run to the machine factory and we'll find out. And there's the harbour. A lovely clear day it is as well. Looks like there's plenty of stuff down at the military though. Okay, so what we're looking to do is that last job there, we're going to be dropping off roughly where that yellow tank is, somewhere around that area, before that switch, basically. Disconnect it and then carry on with the rest of the train. I'm going to switch from using dynamic to using the normal brake now. Because when we jump out in a sec for the remote, there's no option to control the dynamic brake. We need to start reducing the dynamic like that and trying to match it with a normal brake. Yeah, this thing just doesn't have any dynamic brake control on it at all. I don't know why, but it doesn't. Okay, this is our stop here. Double check that's going the right way. Left and left, and then left again. Keeping left all the way. And what we're looking for is this lot. A whole bunch of methane cars, blue and orange. Because after that is the job we want to stop. That's not it, because there's not enough blue cars there. That must be the other one, that one. The one at the back will have either 2 orange, then a lot of blue, or a load of blue and 2 orange. Come on, keep it moving. That looks like a long line of blue containers, doesn't it? Okay, we got good signal. There we go. That should do us. Right, we're going to put 2 handbrakes on for safety. Just to make sure that stays held on that slope. And then it is go, go, go. See if we can't get ourselves a bonus. Right, so we've got rid of that one. We're looking for these now. So it's these rear 2 orange, followed by 4, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think it's this here is going to be our cutoff point. And we're looking to drop this into C2I. Now what I might try and do is after we've dropped this, I might try reversing back into the C loading yard and seeing if we can fit and make a turn back out of here. I don't know if we've got too much. Right, it looks empty. I don't think it is. I think it just hasn't spawned anything yet. There's almost certainly going to be something in that storage line there. Or maybe it is empty. Blimey. That's pretty unusual. Don't forget, once we do drop these, you do have the option to take the job to unload them. If you want extra cash, if you've got the hazmat stuff, hazmat licenses, they always pay pretty well. Should do us. I think that's the it's 26 car, it's 49 is the one we're after. Let's get the handbrake on. Oops, I've just accidentally knocked the sound on. Right, I want to pull this forward a little bit and try and shove it into the loading bay. But I also want to run over and try and see if we can get the bonus on this job quickly. Really wish I could sprint quicker than this. Did we make it? I don't think we did, but we're going to try. 62 minutes, actually. No, I don't think we have no chance of making that, blimey. 43. Oh, we did. We did make that. Crikey. I am very surprised. Right, let's just see if we are beyond the loading switch. Yes, we are. So we'll flick that. Now, what I'm trying to do here is, because this lot is due for D, and this lot's due for C. So what I'm hoping is, how long are these? 200 meters. We'll see. I need to sit at the back of this because I don't want to blast into the back of the siding. I'm hoping I can fit all of this into here and then pull out of that triangle to the left. This is high risk, high reward now, because if this doesn't work, then I've just wasted more time, basically. My hope is these loading lines are very long, and long enough for what we've got. Right, we're getting near the end. I can see the train just chicaning through the entrance, but it looks like the locos are in. So I think we've just about got enough room doing this, which is pretty cool. I better get the brakes on, otherwise we're going to be in the water. Alright, that should do it. Looks like we're in. I'll just need to get up there and double check. If we are indeed in, what it means is we can flick that switch there. And then pull forward. Yeah, we've got it. That was close. That was very close. Lovely. Okay, let's get the forward gear. Right, so we're going to flick that left. And what we're going to do is we're going to come out of here now. And I'm going to hang a left back into B. Once again, the military license becomes useful because I can use this space. I know the loading bay is empty, so go left into loading bay. Basically, I can pull forward so that the back of the train is beyond this bit here, and then we can reverse down towards D. So I'm going to set that and set that because we're now going to go into D for a D4I drop-off. Which has already been set, I think. Right, left, yes it has. Shunting shenanigans. All that time spent shunting didn't go entirely to waste. Right, here we go. D4I. Let's get the brakes going. And it's basically that lot, so it's easy to distinguish from that lot. It's tankers rather than containers. Get that brake on. Disconnect, disconnect, disconnect. Stuck. There we go. Right, forward gear. Right, let me get on board a moving train. I'm trying to sprint round now to get to the station to see if I can try and hand this in with some kind of a bonus. The plan is for that to go forward again, back towards the military yard, and then we'll reverse it back into C and grab the job that we just disconnected. So that's this one. 71 out of 80. Oh, look at that beauty. 100 grand. We got the bonus. I'll do it 30. That was running pretty close to the bonus time though, wasn't it? So I think the rest of these now, given all the yardage shenanigans that we've been doing, we've got this one to drop. This one's coming back into... let's remind ourselves C2I as well, isn't it? Yeah, it is, blimey. This is coming back into C2I, so we're going to have to take that against that one and push it all back, basically. Yeah, I just need to get it beyond that switch, reverse it in, and we're done. It's a rather nice evening in the valley to be doing some shunting work, it really is. After that horrible weather, the valley's come good. I need to not blast this too hard. That's a bit tougher than it should have been. Tighten that up. Get that push back. How long did this mission have, this particular one have? 82, yeah, I think we were on like 70 odd. I think we're cutting it a bit fine for a bonus. We got the bonus on the big one though, the big methane run, that was absolutely fine. The back of that's not going to be too far off this. I need to stop this fairly swiftly. This is the problem, is you cannot see what's going on back there. I wish you could buy binoculars from the shop. That'd be useful, wouldn't it, eh? So that you can actually see better. Inside there will do. Handbrake is on. That is off. Right, let's quickly sprint round and see if we got a bonus or not for this. It was only 17k, so it's really not that big of a deal. We got the bonus on the 70k job, which was a big deal. But I am curious as to how close we are to that 82 minutes. And boom. Oh wow, 5 minutes inside. Amazing. We got all of them. Every single one at the harbour. The only one left is this, not this one, this one. And this is not happening because this is a city south job. A 77-minute timer on it, which we picked up from the goods factory. Anyway, we've managed to bring all of these jobs here. And sadly, we have actually run out of time. We've done quite a lot on this one. Let me stop this. In the next episode, we will take all of this and the rest of that consist up to City South, get it dropped off, get the steam engine into that hangar, and then we'll set about going, getting all the parts and stuff and getting it all sprayed up. But that is it for this episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed that one. That was a lot of fun. We got some good bonuses there. Take care. Happy training.